afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally upon the finale of this edition of SACEF 2024. As you all are aware, in the last 3 days, we have covered a range of issues covering the entire spectrum of clean energy transition. In total, there were around 16 sessions in addition to the opening and closing session, which we are having right now. And we had over 350 participants, including speakers and around 50 plus media. So the participation has been great. And now I welcome you all to the finale or the closing session of SACEF 2024. So I would first request Mr. Steve Olive, Mission Director, USAID India, to please come on stage for his opening remarks.
All right, good afternoon, and it's really a great pleasure to be with you. I hope it's been a fantastic forum for all of you. I know it's something that I've really enjoyed, and I've felt the optimism. I've seen a lot of conversations both within the formal sessions and informal sessions, and so it truly has been a great opportunity for us to engage and problem solve and have a collective commitment to action. Before I get into my meat of my remarks, just want to remind everyone of our event tonight. I'm told it's going to be a lot of fun and seeing a lot of the culture here of Jaipur, so I hope that's on your schedule and you'll join us all tonight for the dinner. So as we know, this forum has brought together an extraordinary assembly of leaders, visionaries from governments, industry, civil society, and international organizations. Nowhere else in the region have we seen such a powerful mix of expertise and collaboration focused on a common goal, the clean energy transition here in South Asia. It is a testament to what is possible when we come together and with purpose and determination. We've spent 3 days grappling with one of the most urgent and complex challenges of our time: how to meet the growing energy demands of one of the world's fastest developing regions, while also ensuring that growth is sustainable, inclusive, and resilient. The challenge is immense, but the opportunity before us is even greater. As our U.S. Ambassador Garcetti so eloquently reminded us in his keynote address, this is not just about managing the present, it's about building the future. A future where South Asia leads the world in clean energy innovation. A future where economic growth and environmental stewardship go hand in hand. A future where the region's energy transition not only addresses climate change challenges, but creates new industries, new jobs, and opportunities for generations to come. Throughout this forum, we have seen the power of partnerships in action. From cross-border energy trade to regional supply chain integration, from innovative financing solutions to cutting-edge technologies, each of you has brought something unique to this table. And it is through these collaborations that we will drive the transformation we seek. But let's all be clear, our work is just beginning. The conversations we've had here and the commitments we made must now translate into action. The road ahead will require continued partnership, sustained investment, and above all, bold leadership. We must be relentless in our pursuits of the goals that we've set out for ourselves. As we move forward, let's keep our eyes on the broader vision: clean, reliable, and affordable energy for all, without compromising the future of our planet. Let us work together to ensure that South Asia's growth is not only prosperous, but also sustainable, so that the benefits reach every community and the next generation inherits a world of opportunity, not crisis. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to each of you, our partners, speakers, and participants. Your insights, energy, commitment have made this forum a resounding success. And I want to especially thank our U.S. government colleagues, USAID, and our collaborating partners for their unwavering support and leadership in this journey. In fact, if we could give a round of applause to everyone who organized the thank you so much for your efforts and thinking of every detail to make things go so smoothly. And so as we know, the theme of this forum has been engage, solve, and act. And so now we're coming to the act, and it resonates even more than ever. It's a call to us to continue the momentum, to push the boundaries of what is possible, and to commit ourselves fully to the work ahead. The challenges are great, but the possibilities are limitless. Together, we can shape the future where clean energy powers the aspirations of South Asia peoples and sets an example for the world. So thank you so much. Thank you for your spirit of collaboration. Thank you for the energy that you brought this week to Jaipur. And we look forward to partnering with you moving into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Steve. And before we move on to the panel or inviting our South Asian senior officials, we have two soft launches or two releases rather. I would like to call upon Dasho Rinzin, Managing Director, Druk Green Power Corporation, for the soft launch of a cross-border power exchange transaction model. This model has been created in partnership with DGPC. So, sir, please, if we can have you on stage and we'll do a report launch. And so, okay, both reports here. And Steve, if we can have you also to release this, a short report on the model. The model will help in generation and demand forecast and determining the optimized bid volume and prices for buying and selling of power in the power exchange. It also enables close monitoring and prompt decision, making a real-time basis for undertaking optimal power exchange-based CBT. Can I request you to, sir, unfold or release the report? That was a short video on the model which has been developed in partnership with DGPC. We have one more report release, and for this I would like to request Dasho Funso Tobge, Secretary, Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport, Government of Bhutan, sir, if you could come. Again, Steve, if we can request you to jointly unveil the report, the roadmap. Thank you, sir. We also have a short video which we would like to play. It is the reflection of SACEF 2024 presentation. And can I request our colleagues to please put it on? Are we doing it later? Okay. So if in that case, I mean, we'll park the video as it is being put together. It's been done real time by our colleagues from On Purpose. I will now request our dignitaries to come on stage, please. Dasho Karma Shering, Secretary, Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources, Government of Bhutan. Madam Mariam Sahana, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation, Government of Maldives. Mr. Suresh Acharya, Secretary, Ministry of Energy, Water, Resources and Irrigation, Government of Nepal. Mr. AKN Vikramasinghe, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Power and Energy, Government of Sri Lanka. Aaron Schubert, Director, Indo-Pacific Office, USAID, India. And our moderator for the session, Ms. Apurva Chaturvedi, Senior Regional Clean Energy Specialist, Indo-Pacific Office. So I'll now hand it over to Apurva to take the panel discussion forward. So over to you.
Thank you, Monali, and thank you to this, again, what do I say, very distinguished panel. So I'm very humbled to be a moderator of this panel. We've now come to the end, but it's not the end because it's, as the title suggests, of the closing session. This is really about forging the path forward. So actually, the real action begins now. Over the last 2 to 3 days, we've been having not just the sessions here, but a lot of one-to-one discussions also with the dignitaries here, with the very senior people out in the audience, so that we could actually structure a few action points that we could take forward. So since we have the advantage of the South Asia collectively here, my job is just very simple now. First of all, if I could just ask everyone, starting with Bhutan again, just because of the alphabetical order of the country's name, may I request Dasho Tobge to say just in one sentence, what's your reflection of SACEF 2024?
I think it has given us the opportunity to now move forward with a fresh set of ideas and connect the dots for ourselves. I think the SACEF forum has given us that opportunity to connect with the market, with the local experts, with what we need to do in the future immediately.
Thank you, Dasho. May I request Dasho Shering, Secretary Energy Bhutan, if one line, if you could just say.
The last 3 days of interaction in Jaipur, the SACEF 2024, has been very insightful, thought-provoking, as well as very productive for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam Shahana.
I would also agree with the both dignitaries that these sessions have been very insightful and has opened my eyes towards a lot of things that we can do in the Maldives.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, Secretary Energy, Suresh Acharya ji, if you could just.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank USAID India and Indo-Pacific Office especially for organizing this kind of very important forum meeting in Jaipur. Over the 3 days continuous discussion with the colleagues and experts from different disciplines, so this forum would be very useful for us, especially in transiting the clean energy from one nation to another nation. This platform is very useful, especially in case of Nepal, for transiting the clean energy generated in our country to the different country in the SAC nation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Vikramasinghe, Additional Secretary from Government of Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Ms. Sapurwa. Actually, this forum is very, very important for the Asian regional countries for achieve the clean energy targets. Actually, 3 days regional utility leads and solution providers and policy makers have engaged in a vibrant discussion of modern technology, innovative and finance and extended policies. What a fantastic 3 days. Very, very important program. Actually, these programs are marvelous. Into my idea, my mind, it is marvelous at an incomparable meeting for the region Asian countries. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Steve, I'm putting you on spot now. Extempo, your reflection.
I'm just so impressed with forums like these that really help to connect dots, to help find projects that need financing, innovations that others need to learn and be able to adopt themselves. So just really appreciate how we're all trying to connect the dots in order to make projects viable and renewable energy so much more affordable and truly possible in this region. And I'd also like to put a plug in for next June. USAID will also be partnering with the Asian Development Bank to host the Asia Clean Energy Forum in Manila, which is a much larger gathering across Asia, but another opportunity for you and your organizations to come together and continue to connect these dots. Thank you.
Thank you. Aaron, any last thoughts on this? Okay. So what I'll now, actually, now that we have really identified certain clear next steps as part of not just the 3-day deliberations, but over a long time that we have been engaging with you as a program, what I would request each of the dignitaries here, if you could just talk about, in short, the next announceables or let's say the next steps which you would like USAID to be supporting you on. So we'll again start maybe in the same order, sir.
We have had the soft launch of the roadmap for Bhutan just now. So I just wanted to start with that. This is a soft launch, and we still have some work to do. But the thing is, it creates a clear perspective in terms of what we need to do in terms of this transition, which is absolutely necessary for a renewable mode of transport in the future. Because our policy, our global commitment, even the nationally determined contributions, all of this requires us to actually adopt this strategy. So from that perspective, we'll be now working on the actionable plans. And from there on, we'll be looking at exactly how we can also engage further technical assistance and collaboration, including the market experts in terms of how this transition can actually be carried out. So we're now looking at the next step in terms of the action plan. So looking at specifically 4 urban towns in Bhutan now, Thimphu, Paro, Punakha, and Phuentsholing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this, because now it's very clear that in 4 towns going forward, you are looking at sustainable transportation to be actually deployed in real terms. That's a big commitment. Sir, Secretary Karma Sharing.
Thank you. As I mentioned, I think this was, the forum was very engaging. I think we had opportunity to interact with policymakers, the regulators, the industrialists, the equipment manufacturers, the investors, and many other, including academia. I think this is a wonderful opportunity. And I think we're grateful for the organizers. When it comes to specific areas of further collaboration for Bhutan, we are already working with USAID SACEF on the financing strategy for our TGPC, which is the generation company. And now we are looking at expanding that partnership for the first time, that we will be also collaborating and working towards raising capital through various financial instruments such as debt financing as well as the green bonds. The second area that we're looking at is we're already working with, again, USAID SARE program on the new energy efficient appliance standards and labeling program. Now, through the SAREF, we'll be exploring partnership with EESL also to ensure that we have a quality, super efficient appliances for our clients and the customers. The third that we're looking at is institutionalizing the energy audit certification program. We don't have one. With our technical institutions in partnership with, again, USAID support. We'll be also working with USAID on making Thimphu the capital city of Bhutan a smart distribution city. And the next one is we're also looking at initiating a new area of work with USAID SAREP on green aviation fuel and green hydrogen development projects. These are, again, new areas that we are trying to explore. And the next is that USAID SARE is also supporting us in terms of expanding the regional cross-border electricity trade in developing the long-term outlook for Bhutan's hydropower opportunities in the Bhutan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal region, as well as development of Bhutan's owned power trading institution in Bhutan, as well as in India. The next is that we are also looking at receiving support in terms of strengthening the Bhutan's R&D in solar as well as hydropower sector, which again we are lacking at the moment. And the last area is that capacity building, which is cross-cutting in nature, and it will also cut across all the themes. So these are the areas that we'll be looking at as going forward and next steps. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think that's a very comprehensive list, but I know it's a very truncated list also, and hope we will be able to match the expectations that we have, and we'll be able to deliver on that. Madam Shahana.
Thank you. USAID SERP is partnering with the development of a sustainable transportation policy for the Maldives. Maldives government is working with the US SERP on expanding the Hakatari SNL program to include additional appliances as well as regulation on building energy efficiency. We will soon be launching the energy management guide for the schools in the Maldives, developed through SERP's technical assistance. We will work with the USAID SERP on implementing smart metering in the selected islands of the Maldives, along with the smart metering standards and regulations. We would also like to request technical assistance to develop a roadmap for, and also request assistance in capacity building. And we would like to request the Government of India for India's experts in our future projects. Thank you.
Thank you. Secretary Suresh Acharya ji.
Thank you, Apurva, again. USAID being our long-time development partner for Nepal, with the support of USAID, we are having this kind of clean energy development, capacity development, and other areas as well. USAID has helped us in different areas in Nepal. After this 3 days discussion and insights from different experts, I have summarized our expectation, Nepal's expectation, in 4 points. Number 1, we are partnering with USAID in building and marketing Nepal's capacity in scaling up trilateral as well as multilateral power trade. Number 2, we are partnering with USAID on development of standards and regulation for incentivizing and upscaling e-mobility and charging infrastructures, enabling consumer awareness and developing business models for deployment of electrical buses in Nepal for public transport. Number 3, we are also partnering with USAID in transformation of e-cooking, and other energy efficient appliances in daily life. Number 4, we will further partner with USAID on enhancing flow of capital through innovative instruments to support Nepal's clean energy development and exports. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for so comprehensively putting it. May I move to Additional Secretary Vikramasinghe from Government of Sri Lanka?
Thank you again, Apurva. Actually, throughout this forum, we have explored the challenges, opportunities, and innovations surrounding clean energy in South Asia, from policy frameworks and technological advancement to collaborative initiative and practical solutions. We have gained valuable insights into how we can collectively celebrate accelerate than clean energy transition. We has become increasingly clear is that our region stands at the crossroads of energy transformation. The initiative we take today will shape not only our economics but also the lives in millions, guiding us towards the future of sustainability, resilience, and equitable growth. I would like to say something, Ms. Apurva, at this moment. Supporting with USD, we are implementing some very, very important program in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has introduced benchmarking regulation, already introduced benchmarking regulation for finance institutions and supermarkets. We will be working with the US SACEF on demand aggregation and connecting with retailers in Sri Lanka to ensure quality and affordable energy efficient application in our market throughout our Sustainable Energy Authority implement this project. Second one, through USAID SACEF, we look forward to partnering with CSL and leverage and experience for development of e-buses. And third one, US SACEF will support LECO in smart metering data analytics and implementing solution in demand response in the LECO GMECF. USAID, fourth one, US SACEF is supporting Public Utility Commission Sri Lanka developing regulatory instruments for cross-border electricity trade, including development to open access and power market. In Sri Lanka, actually, we have already started the huge renewable energy projects in island-wide for support, with support foreign investment, local investment, roughly megawatt, 1,500 megawatt through the line grid, connect to the grid. Also, we have a huge responsibility to comply with SACEF forum regulation as a regional country. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Dasho Tobge had some point to make.
Thank you. Now, beside the roadmap, which actually puts a perspective for us in the long term, we have also seen possibility of collaboration immediately in the near future. So I want to touch upon a few of these areas where we might have possible collaboration in the near future. For instance, in Bhutan, we have market size for around 200 electric buses. We heard a great deal about electric buses this time, and also the business model, how these electric buses are actually leased out in India. And I see maybe we could study those models, and through this platform, probably maybe under the larger auspices of the SACEF, and also direct collaboration with some of the technology and the solution providers, we could possibly look at this business model and how it might suit us. The other thing is that we have a timeline by 2035 where we want to actually transition to fully electric buses for the public transport fleet that we have by 50%. So we want to reduce the existing public transport system of IC vehicles by 50%. And we want to actually aim for complete transition by 2045. So I see a lot of possible areas for collaboration. And as I was mentioning earlier on, that there are certain issues that we have identified, like technology neutrality, also like seamless standards, and in terms of the charging station, some of the work that we have done, it has to fit in with this model. Besides that, again, we have very specific targets in terms of, like say, how much emission that we want to actually reduce by. So the numbers in terms of the electric buses that we have projected as of now, it might change, possibly it might grow. So again, there's opportunities for us to collaborate there. Very importantly, I see a lot of opportunity for us, again, through this platform to connect with experts in terms of the technical assistance. And also, like, we know that financing is going to be very challenging for us. So from that perspective, innovative financing model, access to low-cost capital, all of these are going to be very important. So through this, again, through the contacts that we have established, possibly again exploring for new modes of financing this transition to clean energy transport system in Bhutan. Capacity building is going to be a challenge for us. And again, when you're talking about transitioning into this electric vehicle fleet for Bhutan, we know that we have to actually, again, look at creating the entire market ecosystem, the value chain in terms of the workshop, the technicians. So the capacity building issues, all of this, again, I see a lot of opportunity for technical assistance as well as collaboration there. So I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You know, just as a, so this was like each country's, you know, I would say a statement in where you would need our technical support. But if I may ask, or may just suggest and ask you whether you are in agreement with this or not. So yesterday we also had a leaders roundtable on expanding regional cooperation to include, you know, clean energy value chain. And one thing that stood out as a part of the regional cooperation was also about harmonization of standards, whether it is across transmission, distribution equipments, whether it's energy efficient appliances or electric buses. This stood out as a very uniform theme for regional cooperation. So may I just ask for, is that something we are on the right path? Because it's a new thought that we have tried to initiate, but we need to take it forward. But we would need your, you know, guidance on this.
I think the business models that we have heard about, all the propositions that we have heard about in the last few days, I think it's very important that it actually suits specific countries' needs. So from that perspective, I was also discussing, for instance, with some of my friends from Nepal. So we have similar context. So some of the business model that may be relevant for Nepal, it could possibly be relevant for Bhutan as well. But what I realized is that there were several sessions happening in parallel, and just this afternoon, there was a session on hydrogen fuel cell. But I was attending another session, so I could not really, I didn't get to hear what was actually said during that session. As part of this transportation roadmap for Bhutan, we're also looking at HFCs. So the Department of Energy is also looking at storage technology, for instance, green ammonia, talking about how Bhutan can gradually transition from electric vehicles to hydrogen fuel cells, because when you talk about EVs, these are very finite, resources are very finite, right? When you're talking about rare earth. So in terms of EVs, we realize that this may enable us to drive this transition in the short term, but in the long term, we may have to keep a perspective on hydrogen fuel cell, which could be the winner in the long term. But again, we are not sure, but the roadmap actually provides us opportunity to actually create the perspective for what we need to do in terms of other renewable-based transportation system. So that way, we are also trying to focus on even ropeways, cable cars, electric train, so the entire gamut of renewable-based transportation system.
Thank you, sir. Over to you.
I think harmonization of standards and codes is not something that is new for us. I think we have been talking about that for a very long time. And Bhutan is also already a member on the SAFIR, which is the South Asian Forum for Infrastructure Regulators. And the very purpose of joining that group is to actually, co-create and come up with the harmonized. So in the power sector, when you say harmonization, we have to look at, of course, the standards of equipment and appliances. That's something. And then you also have to look at the codes as to how the system will actually interact with each other. So this is very much in line with the objectives that we already have. So I will certainly welcome this initiative from the USAID. Thank you.
Madam.
I definitely feel that the initiative is definitely would be perhaps applicable to the Maldives since our president's pledge was to reduce renewable energy by 33% by the end of his term. So since we are achieving we are going towards such an ambitious goal, I think it would definitely be applicable.
Thank you. Suresh, sir?
Well, our colleague from Bhutan, Excellency, also mentioned that we need the harmonization in rules and standards for e-mobility, operation of e-vehicles. So it is a need of time in our case, like Bhutan, in Nepal. We need to harmonize our rules and standards. In South Asian nations, the harmonization of rules and standards is very important for us also. Next thing, in Nepal, we are encouraging more and more storage type of hydropower, like impounding reservoir. So we are encouraging more and more hydropower from storage type of reservoir. So we need some technical support from USAID or some kind of mechanism in this SAARC nation for floating solar energy, so floating solar energy in large scale. So India and other countries, they are practicing this kind of floating solar panel in the pond or in the bigger reservoir. So we also need some technical support from USAID or the mechanism set in these South Asian nations for technical support. Thank you.
Vikraming Singh, sir.
Actually, the harmonization of standards is really a good idea, provided that the quality of the product is retained. In power system, quality is what matters most. Actually, in Sri Lanka, in addition, I would like to say something, our renewable energy program, we, according to the forum directives, we have to form the mechanism, proper mechanism in country-wise to implement the, achieve the target. Then Sri Lanka has paid to the high attention to power based system. We have trying to introduce new tariff for the investment for battery storage, and we are trying to e-vehicle, provide the e-vehicle and establish the power station island-wide. We have already discussed with private sector or to achieve this target. I mentioned, I like to thanks especially on this time US said for their great support for Sri Lanka as well as other countries to, and I would like to invite the countries and very valuable partners and participants to invest in Sri Lanka, because we have high potential in renewable energy, wind, solar, and biomass, like biomass. I like to invite all participants to and private sector to invest in Sri Lanka. We are waiting for the foreign investment, huge potential in for implement the renewable energy projects. Thank you.
So can I put everyone on a spot? This is not a rapid fire, but whoever presses the button first, if we were to organize SACEF next year, would any country like to host it instead of India? This is not a commitment. This is not a commitment, just out of curiosity asking. We would still be there to do it. Now, no buttons being pressed here. We get the message, we would like to have you back here. Sir has a point.
Yeah, we are ready to host, but it should not be during the extreme weather or winter conditions, because we don't want our participants to suffer also. So it should be, you have to choose a season when it is convenient and pleasant, so that I can only see two seasons, autumn and spring. So choose one of those dates, and we'll be there to support.
With that, over to Monali, my colleague.
Thank you so much, Apurva, for excellent moderation. And thank you to all our dignitaries here on the stage. And we would have been happy with Maldives or Sri Lanka or Nepal as well. So, but thank you so much. Bhutan is a wonderful country, and we would very much like to be there. Unfortunately, it's ready? Oh, great. Great news, indeed. I was going to say that we are not ready with the SACEF video because of certain technical glitch, but it seems we are ready now. So we will just, can I request that it can be showcased? After vote of thanks? Okay, so we still need few minutes, and we'll call Aaron Schubert to rescue us from this video showcasing. So please, I'll request Aaron Schubert for the vote of thanks, Director, Indo-Pacific Office. Over to you.
I wrote good afternoon, but now it's good evening, everyone. So it's been a great pleasure getting to know many of you over the past few days. And I'm really grateful to each and every one of you for making the trip to Jaipur for this important forum. Travel often means time away from family, and so I thank you for that. Yesterday morning, before the session started, I called home and talked to my two children, as I do every time I'm traveling for work, to wish them a good day. And my 8-year-old son asked me why I was away, what I was doing in Jaipur, and why I wasn't taking him with me. Then I explained to him a little bit about SACEF, and then he had many questions. He calls me Da, and he said, Da, why are people still using fossil fuels? Why don't people just build enough windmills and solar panels to produce all of our power? Da, why don't you put solar panels on our house? It took me some time to work through all of these questions. But I did come around to some answers. But then he asked me one final questions, and that was a little bit more difficult. He said, "Da, with climate change, are we going to be okay? Is the Earth going to be okay?" And his question really struck me. At first, I felt a tremendous amount of guilt at the state of the Earth that my generation is handing over to the next. There are so many examples of our changing planet now that it's led to a new phrase among children called climate anxiety, because they witness firsthand natural disasters and the changes to our ways of life. His question was also a bit overwhelming when thinking about all of the challenges that we face today. However, over the past 2 days, I've developed a lot of hope meeting all of you. We have many of the solutions at our fingertips, and now it's up to each one of us to go home and act. Act to drive forward the scale-up of renewable energy. Act to decarbonize the transportation sector. Act to scale up super-efficient cooling. Act to finance our transition to net zero. And act to ensure our cities are resilient and sustainable. In the past 3 days, SACEF 2024 witnessed participation from a wide range of stakeholders from South Asia, including governance, utilities, regulators, development partners, technology providers, and think tanks. SACEF 2024 underlined the importance of collaboration and partnership to address challenges and learn from each other. I would like to thank you all again for your participation, beginning with my gratitude to our Mission Director, Steve Olive, for being a part of SACEF 2024, and underlining USAID's commitment to partnering with South Asia governments for their clean transition journey. I'd like also to thank our many distinguished guests and senior officials from South Asia for joining in the closing session and for being part of SACEF 2024. Dasho Karmo Sharing, Secretary, Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources, Government of Bhutan. Dasho Punsho Tobjai, Secretary, Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport, Government of Bhutan. Alok, Additional Chief Secretary, Energy Department, Government of Rajasthan. Mariam Shahana, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation, Government of Maldives. Suresh Acharya, Secretary, Ministry of Energy, Water Resources and Irrigation from Nepal. AKN Vikrama Singh, Additional Secretary, Power and Energy. Your commitment and leadership is truly appreciated. I would also like to send a heartfelt gratitude to all the speakers of SACEF 2024 who made time to share their knowledge and expertise with us. I know many of you are up late into the evening sending us speeches and waking up early to prepare, and we are really thankful. I would also like to acknowledge our partners, including the European Union, the Energy Efficiency Services Limited, EESL, the International Solar Alliance, SSP, ONP on Purpose for partnering with us to co-host specific sessions during SACEF 2024. Hosting such a big event requires several months of planning, even years, and hard work of several people. I would like to acknowledge and thank the organizers. Team members from SARUP, if we could just give SARUP a round of applause, I think they deserve it. The APP, Advancing U.S.-India Partnership Platform. These are the two main USAID programs who really helped us to collaborate to organize the event. And I would also like to thank my colleagues from USAID missions in India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Washington, and all US government agencies. Finally, thanks to all of you who joined the last 3 days of the event. It would not have been possible without your active participation, and I look forward to seeing you all at SACEF 2025. Thank you, Stuti, Dhanyavad, Kadrin Shaila, and Shukriya.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for the vote of thanks. And we are now ready to unveil the preview of the SACEF, Reflections of SACEF 2024. So if we can have the video, please. That was a great one. Thank you so much, On Purpose team, for putting it together, and we were finally able to show it.